أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واذكر في الكتاب مريم إذ انتبذت من أهلها مكانا شرقيا فاتخذت من دونهم حجابا فأرسلنا إليها روحنا فتمثل لها بشرا سويا قالت إني أعوذ بالرحمن منك إن كنت تقيا.
Today is a special day. We have an event called Visit My Mosque, which invite all the local community here in Fulham to visit the masjid and the mosque and see the activities for the center. Visit My Mosque, the event comes beyond to deliver the peace between local people who live around, regardless of their faith and culture and backgrounds, and of course religion.
I've visited a number of mosques when I've been travelling abroad, and I've certainly been to Al-Muntada before, but I haven't been to other mosques in this country. So most of my experience of visiting mosques has been in Jordan and in Turkey and in Morocco. I'm very fond of Morocco as a country.
Have I been inside a mosque before? Yeah, mainly as a tourist though, I have to admit.
It's the first time I've been to a mosque. Very interesting. I was quite excited to come. I cancelled everything today to be here.
I'm originally from South Yorkshire, and I moved to London a few months ago for university. I'm studying fine art. I don't particularly have a very religious background, but I've had lots of kind of influences from lots of different things, and I'm very interested in learning more.
I've always had an interest in religion. I know a lot about the different religions within Christianity, and there's a lot of misconceptions about Islam, so I thought I'd come and find out about it for myself.
It's actually my first time visiting a mosque in London, so it's actually a very nice thing to see, to be in a familiar setting that used to be a place that I visit regularly when I'm home.
I'm frequently invited to mosques in my constituency and elsewhere, and I'm always very pleased to go to talk to the congregation, often help with people's problems, but also improve my knowledge of Islam. And with a Muslim population of more than 10% in my constituency, it's a big feature of what I do.
I live in Putney. I'm moving to the area and I'm going to be training to be a teacher soon. I'm interested to come here today to find out about the youth and outreach work and just generally what the masjid does, really.
The main thing I learnt today was that Islam has similar views to Christianity. A lot of it is the same, there'll be slight differences.
So what did you find interesting today?
I found interesting where the people pray.
For some reason I had this preconception that Islam was all very closed off, that it was very, you're either in or you're out, but when I arrived, everybody's been so friendly. I've learnt so much, and it's not what I thought it would be like at all. I thought we'd all be in a little room and there would be one person talking, but there are the posters, there are so many people talking. There's tea and coffee, which was great. And I have learnt a lot as well. All the people I've spoken to know what they're talking about.
It's a very fascinating initiative, and I see people from different backgrounds coming here, and they're actually discussing with the imam and the volunteers as well. And I think it's a nice initiative to open a discussion and to get to get each other better to understand what Islam is all about.
The things I've learnt today, I was interested to find out more about the role of women, about how equal women are with men in Islam. I was really interested to know that you keep your last name when you marry. That's quite nice, because I don't get to do that in my culture.
I find the food interesting. Am I allowed to say that? It was really nice. There's a lovely Moroccan chef downstairs, and he was really lovely and interesting and everything. And obviously the ladies, and we went downstairs with a lady who wears a face veil, so it was quite interesting for Coco to talk to the lady behind the veil, as it were, so it was good.
It's really important, I think, to open up these channels between all faiths, and it's nice to have been welcomed actually by yourself this morning. Great smile at the front door, so it was a good impression from the go.
I've learned quite a lot today in terms of the Quran and how similar but also how different it is from Christianity and Judaism and different religions I know more about, and some of the traditions and ideals of Islam, and how peaceful it is and how central it is to be a good person, and how a lot of people are very misled, and how a lot of Muslims who call themselves Muslims don't hold to those ideals, and what Islam teaches about life after death and judgment and things like that, which I found really, really interesting.
I'm especially interested in all the information about Jesus and Islam, and about what Muslims believe about Jesus, and about relationships between Islam and other faiths, particularly Christianity and Judaism, which are, after all, the other two Abrahamic faiths. And I think we can all learn a lot from each other, and I think it's important for us to learn about how our neighbours live, as we live in a very multi-faith and multicultural society, and everywhere we go we're surrounded by people from many different faiths and cultures.
I definitely think events like this help bring communities together and help teach people who don't necessarily know a lot about Islam. And I think it's really important for people to be open to different religions and different opinions and what different people believe. I think it makes communities very much more culturally rich.
More people should come and see it, people who don't have any links with other religions.
It's wonderful to see both the connections between the different religions, between Judaism and Christianity and Islam, to find out, to dispel some of the myths that are perpetrated by mainly the media in this country about Islam, and to see just that open spirit of debate and conversation.
I think this kind of event is really helpful for cohesion in the community, and for breaking down barriers of suspicion and mistrust, because people are always worried about things they don't actually know anything about.
Events like these are brilliant for integrating communities. I think it's fantastic and breaking down barriers.
What's happening here today, it brings people together, it dispels people's myths, it allows people to get on well together, and that's not just, and talking about Al-Muntada and the work that they do, I've been very pleased to support them over many years, because their charitable work not only extends to underprivileged communities in Hammersmith and Shepherd's Bush and Fulham, but also around the world. Fantastic campaigns that they do, and they've always reached out to people. So I would just like to thank you so much for today, and I hope that this will be something that continues and grows and brings people closer together.
We are here as part of the community. We're trying so hard to make sure that we bring something good to the community, to everyone, to men, women, children, everything else. So we work in 29 countries in Africa. We are a humanitarian organization, but beside that, we make sure that we have something for the community as well here.
What impressed me most about today in visiting the mosque was the sense of openness and the desire on the part of the people who are in leadership here to show as much as they could of Islam and of the connections that can be made and of the desire to live harmoniously in community. And I think the way in which that teaching about Islam was offered was gracious and open and honest and generous. And the food was very nice as well.
I think this kind of open day is fantastic, and I hope to see more of them.
On the whole, people live alongside each other in places like London, and they respect each other and they're on good terms, but they often don't know very much about their neighbours, and particularly things like how they worship, where they go to school and things of that kind. And yet those barriers are very easy to break down and myths are very easy to dispel, and so I think this is a fantastic initiative.
I think you're doing a really great job here, lots of information, but also people are just really approachable.
Something that really annoys me is the ignorance that surrounds Islam at the minute and how it's all bad, but actually being here I've met some of the nicest people I've met in London.
Do you have a word that you'd like to use to summarise today? How did you find today?
Yeah. Nice.
If I could describe today in one word, it would be enlightening.
I think it would be dialogue. This is not something that happens on one day or in one go, but what we're looking at today is the continuation of that dialogue, that conversation that occurs between the Muslim, the non-Muslim community, or indeed between different parts of the Muslim community and with different faiths.
The word I would use to describe today would be fruitful, because I think it builds on good foundations.
Enlightening.
It's been a privilege to work with Amuntada over the past 10 years that I've been a local MP, and to support their charity work. And that's not just locally, where they do a lot for particularly underprivileged children, but around the world. And that commitment, that success, I think, is what shows to people better than anything, better than any words can do, not just how compassionate the organisation is, but how successful it is at actually achieving the aims of Islam.
قال إنما أنا رسول ربك لأهب لك غلاما زكيا قالت أنى يكون لي غلام ولم يمسسني بشر ولم أك بغيا قال كذلك قال ربك هو علي هين ولنجعله آية للناس ورحمة منا وكان أمرا مقضيا صدق الله العظيم.
I genuinely believe that unless we understand each other and live together harmoniously, then things can quickly get out of hand.